I don't want to get eaten by a dingo. Hey guys, it's me again, Douglas, and I have always wondered what God wants me to do with my life. What does God want me to be when I grow up? Because people are always asking you this. They're like, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do when you grow up? And I kind of want to be an astronaut, but I was always kind of wondering, maybe what God wanted me to do. But at school the other day, they had this thing. It was called an aptitude test. Yeah, and it's supposed to tell you what you should be when you grow up. And I was super excited because I was like, wow, this is just going to have the answers right there. So they asked a lot of questions, and I answered all the questions, wrote them down. And then they have this little thing in the back where you look at what your score is, and then your score is supposed to tell you what your job is supposed to be when you grow up. And I looked at it, and I filled it all out, and then the results finally came in. And the results, I looked at them, and they said that I should be a cement worker in Australia. I don't even know what a cement worker is. I don't know, somebody who makes stuff out of cement, like roads and things, but I don't know why Australia. I've got good friends that live in Australia. There's cool people down there, but there's all kinds of animals and stuff down there. It's like a desert. I don't want to get bit by a spider or a snake or something, or eaten by a dingo, or kicked in the face by a kangaroo. I like living here. We're living here where I live. So I don't know if I'm actually supposed to be a cement worker in Australia. Maybe I am. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I won't. But here's the thing. After I got that cement worker result, I looked up in the Bible. I wanted to study and see, what does God want us to do with our lives? What does God want me to be when I grow up? And when I was looking through the Bible, I found out that there is no verse that says, Douglas shall be fill in the blank. It doesn't say that. There was no time. I don't even think it ever says Douglas at all in the Bible. But I did find a really cool verse. And the verse said that no matter what you do, you should do it for the glory of God. Now, that verse was specifically talking about kinds of food you eat. But I think that verse can apply to everything in our lives. There are some people who get a very, very specific call from God about what God wants them to do with their life. Moses was a shepherd for a little while, but while he was a shepherd, God came to him in the form of a burning bush, and he said, you're not going to be a shepherd anymore. You're going to go lead the Israelites out of slavery. And sometimes that does happen. Sometimes God goes, boom, and he gives someone a calling for their life, a big, crazy calling that they cannot deny. This is definitely what God wants me to do. But I've never had that. God hasn't specifically said to me, he says, Douglas, I want you to be an astronaut, or Douglas, I want you to be a firefighter, or Douglas, I want you to play professional sports. Those are all things that maybe I thought I'd be good at, maybe something I might like to be when I grow up. And this is something that I believe. I believe that God wants you to be whatever you want to be, and to be that thing for his glory. Because in the end, no matter what your job is, we can all serve God with our lives, no matter what you're doing. Even the Apostle Paul built tents for a little while. So I think that if there's something that you want to do with your life, and you can find a way to honor God with that thing, I think that's what God wants you to do. I'm not saying that if God has called you to do something and you don't want to do that thing, that you should just go ahead and do whatever you want to do. No, bad idea. If God has called you to do something, do that thing. God told Jonah to go evangelize to the Ninevites, and Jonah did not want to do that, and so he went the other way, but then God sent a big old fish to swallow him up and spit him out by Nineveh. So, yeah, no, bad idea to not do what God tells you to do. But whether God gives you a big, crazy, specific calling in your life or not, God wants us all to do the same thing, which is honor him in the way we live our lives. So in answering the question, what does God want me to be when I grow up? I think the answer is God wants you to be a Christ follower. So if you want to be a policeman or a firefighter or a pastor or a teacher or whatever you want to be, you can be that thing. And in all that you do, do it for the glory of God. Hey guys, I hope you liked this video. And yeah, you guys are awesome. You guys are such a cool group of people. I love seeing your comments when you guys talk to me down there. You guys are so funny. Sometimes you got funny stories to tell, but also you've got some really nice, encouraging things to say, and I really, really, really appreciate that. That means so much to me. And today in the comments, I want you to write down, if you are a kid, I want you to write down what you want to be when you grow up. And if you are an adult and you're watching this, I want you to write down what you did want to be when you grew up. I bet we'll have a lot of really, really cool answers. And hey, if you haven't already, you should check out douglastalks.com. Yeah, it's got all of my videos are on there, and you can buy the digital downloads there, and I've got some family time questions that go along with every video, and I've got all kinds of cool stuff. You should totally check it out. It's douglastalks.com.